The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz
You
Now.
have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Biz Now, because your business matters.
Yeah! You are listening to the #1 talk live business show in North Carolina. We're coming to you live from the brand new Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Birkdale Village. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now, where your business matters. And every single week we have a co-host, and this month my co-host for the entire month is Solonia. You didn't think I was going to get that right, didn't you? Solonia.
Yeah, you did it
I
fancy.
call her Solo Wade-Baskins. She is AKA Solo, co-owner of Progressive Business Finance. Solo, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Kind of sad, bittersweet.
This is the end for you.
This is the end.
And now you get it, because I tell people all the time, whenever you're a co-host, it's not till the end of the month that you get it, right? That you
Yes.
understand what this is all about, you know?
Yes, that you feel comfortable a little more, talk a little more,
That's
laugh
right.
a little more,
That's right.
and that was over.
Make fun of Joe a little
That's
bit more.
it. Yes,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
And that was over.
Okay, well, here's the good news.
What's the good news?
Julie loves you. So all you got to do is send her email. She'll plug you back in, so you'll be back at it again. So
Julie.
everybody needs a Julie.
Absolutely.
Okay, before we get started,
Yes.
because you sent me some stuff we're going to talk about, okay?
Yes.
Tell everybody what Progressive Business Finance is all about.
So Progressive Business and Finance is we use private lenders and investors to help business owners get the money they need to grow, start, progress. And so we are the alternative. And when I say alternative, meaning we are non-traditional. The banks, credit unions, that is the traditional way. We are the non-traditional, alternative, creative way of helping business owners just proceed and grow to make their dreams come alive.
And go ahead, make a shout out to your husband, the one who really makes this happen.
The infamous, lovely, sexy, dynamite Sammy Baskins. I love you.
Dynamite Sammy
That's
is
right.
dynamite. Okay. He was on the show the first time we met,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. And he loved your cigars. So thank you.
Oh,
See
there you go.
Yeah.
Now, those of you that are listening,
Yes.
I always ask the guests, do you like cigars or does your spouse like cigars? When I asked Solo last week, you know what she said? And I could tell what that means. That means he probably does, but I don't want him to have them.
Because I don't want the house to smell.
I
I
don't
don't want
wanna
him to
hear
smell
all
like
that.
cigars.
I
That
don't
is
want to
like-
hear all that. He can go outside and relax and smoke one. That's what he did.
Why he
you
can't-
relegated him to outside, didn't you?
I sure did.
Okay,
He had
that's
to go
all
out
right.
the door.
I'm not allowed to smoke in the house. That's all right.
Okay.
That's all right. That's why my office in my house is above the garage, so I can
See?
get the fan, so I can get the fan blowing out there. So I get that. I understand that. I just want to make sure the man enjoys a couple of delicious, tasty cigars, which you allowed him to have. And I know
See?
the reason why you gave them to him, because I said on the air last week, I'm going to give you some.
And I said, if I don't give him these cigars, I'm going to hear Joe mouth, and then I'll have to hear his mouth, and then it's going to be like a boomerang. So let me just give him the cigars
That's right.
and let him enjoy it. But he
Sammy,
enjoy
I
it.
got a whole humidor here I gived out to all the guests for free. I'm going to give her another one for you before she leaves today. Make
Really,
sure
Joe?
you get it.
Really? We
He gonna
doing
get
that?
one more.
We doing that?
He getting one
That's
more.
how we doing
This
it.
the last day. We got to celebrate. Okay.
Yes.
So Sammy, you got a cigar coming.
I guess. Yes.
Just one. Just make it just one. This way
Just one.
y'all won't fight.
Okay.
Okay. So, one of the things you and I talk about your businesses, and I joke about it,
Absolutely.
is that you help people after they've heard no. right?
Absolutely. Yes.
But the truth is, we've said this before in prior weeks, you really would like for them to come to you before they go to any financial institution because you are somebody that can help them paint a picture, create the financial story before they go and talk to somebody.
So they don't have to hear a no. Because the truth is a matter. You hear that no, it's discouraging. You can go somewhere else.
Yep.
But what if you didn't have to hear the no? What if you was prepared when you first walked in the door and you know you are in a place, in a situation, in a spot where you know that you are capable and qualified for getting this loan. And so we can help our business owners get there. And it doesn't always have to be the non-traditional way. We can help them prepare and build them up so that they can walk into a bank in the traditional way and get a loan. So that's what we do. We're here to help our business owners however we can help them.
And one of the things, I go to your website and you do factoring and accounts receivables. Talk a little bit about that because that's kind of a maybe 10-year-old gig, right? It hasn't, factoring's been around a while.
Factoring's been around.
But the accounts receivable, that's kind of a newer thing.
And that's a new thing. A lot of business owners don't understand it, but they suffer from it. It's a really big thing because a lot of business owners are trying to compensate because they're waiting for their accounts receivables to be paid, right? And they're past 90 days, they're past 30 days, they're past 60 days. And so how can we help them? We have lenders who will actually buy those invoices from them and give them the money so that they can move on to the next project. And they're not sitting there trying to take their money and trying to take from their personal life and trying to compensate and trying to get this money up, or they're stuck. They can't move. And that's where a lot of business owners find themselves as they are stuck. They can't move. They don't have the funds. They don't have the resources to move to another project or to handle another project because all their money is tied up in one place.
And, you know, it's funny because hearing you talk, I've got a lot of clients that come to me and think what they need to do is sell because they can't find themselves out of this situation.
Absolutely.
Literally, they'll come to me and they will say, I can't afford to take on another client because it costs me 30 grand to gear up to be able to deal with the client. And so, Joe, I don't know how to grow unless I already have the capital to do that. And it really is this catch-22 situation. And they would have never thought that they put themselves in such a capital-intensive business, but it happens all day long.
Because a lot of business owners feel like, oh, I'm making money, I'm doing the work, but you don't have the cash flow. And then the business cash flow is king because cash flow presents opportunities or opportunities that you can jump on. So you may be doing the work. You may have 1 million invoices and $100,000 out there, but if you don't have the money, you're stuck.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you an example. I've got a client that I help, and he's in the construction dumpster business. Well, every time he places a dumpster, that's $5 to $6 grand.
Yes.
So he got a client that called him and says, "Listen, I need 32 dumpsters." He said, "Joe, I got to tell him no."
Absolutely.
Think about that. But now I can tell him go see Solo.
That's right.
Solo, get him the cash,
and he can move on to that project.
He's rocking and rolling.
That's it. There you go.
Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to go over your article. Why are you smiling about this?
Because I'm excited.
Okay.
I like to talk about new things.
Are you ready? Are you getting ready?
I am ready.
We're getting ready to go to break. Are you ready to do it?
I'm ready.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. We've been going strong for over 10 years. We are here in the Burner Cigar Studio. This is Local Biz Now, where
your business matters.
Yeah, she got that down. She got that down.
Down pat, right?
We'll be right back.
We'll return to more of Local Biz Now.
All right, Connor, that's how you do it.
Love it. Look good. Made it look easy.
No, really?
No, let me phrase
that.
that.
It's my last one. Now I got it. I'm about to leave.
It may not be how you do it. It's how we do it.
Yeah.
It's even better.
Okay.
Take frequent breaks, go inside, cool off for a while if you have to work outside. It's just all in an effort to keep you safe.
All right.
Looking ahead, we may get a little better shot at some pop-up showers and
Wilton, I'm good.
About 2 minutes. That's your forecast for the WSIC Weather Center.
So we come back, we're going to do a little article of hers, which is about another 15 minutes. We'll go to the main break. We come back. The rest of the show is yours.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay, you don't have this in front of you. How you going to do this? You think I'm going to have to figure out what you want to talk about this? Because there's a lot of stuff.
Whatever you feel. Listen,
There's a whole
you're the
lot of
genius.
stuff.
You're the genius. You're the
I
expert.
am a
You're
genius.
Listen, you got it.
Stroke the
See,
ego.
hushed him up
Stroke
right
the
there.
ego.
Right there. There you go. See?
She'll definitely be back. Genius and all. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
See, kind of
boy.
that's how you
See?
do it.
You got it
Just
down. I
say,
told you.
listen.
You got it down.
There you go.
I'm learning from the best right now.
Oh, Julie said she already got you down for March 2025.
Oh, she does?
She done
Oh,
put you
Julie.
down.
Oh, Julie, she's the best.
On Friday, Wine Maestro showcases a performance by Danny Wicker at 7 p.m., while Delaney's Sports Bar presents Bryce Reese at 8 p.m. Visit downtown Statesville Friday night for live music at Wine Maestro and Delaney's Sports Bar.
Oh, we're going to talk about IULs.
IULs, yes.
Because you know I didn't know nothing about that.
Have
you
you ever
trying to
heard of
trick-
IULs?
You
Kinda?
trying to
No.
trick me? You trying to... No, I
Maybe
never
not the
heard of
acronym.
such...
What's it stand for?
Index Universal Life Insurance.
I don't know what the index. Oh no. Maybe
No.
not.
It's like life insurance benefits that you can use living benefits towards. You ever heard of people being their own bank or compound interest or
I saw
Affinity
zero there. I was
banking,
thinking I was late.
you know, stuff like that. So it's like
Okay.
a way to invest in yourself.
Talk about it later. I'm curious to see more.
Okay.
July 2nd. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including
Are you ready?
amazing local deals,
Absolutely.
download the
Yes,
WSIC
sir.
News app today.
Call now to speak with Joe Bagnone at 844-CDO4. It's Local Biz Now on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Yeah. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Bagnone, and your business matters. Every Monday afternoon here on WSIC, because that's what we do. We inform, inspire, and entertain you. Been doing it going strong over 10 years. We have well over 850 small business interviews, and community leaders have been interviewed over the years. We have well over 650 videos on the YouTube. Please go to my YouTube channel. It is Joe Vagnone Business Broker. Again, Joe Vagnone Business Broker. Last I saw, we had 126 subscribers.
Look at that.
Now, I know it ain't the Kardashian, but we working on it.
Listen,
We're
we're
working
getting
on it.
there.
We're getting there.
There you go.
So please go and subscribe to Joe Vagnone Business Broker. All of these interviews and all of the ones we've done over the years are on there. Plus, at the end of every show, they clean it up a little bit and send it back out to you. So if you want some information or want to be able to reach our guests, you'll be able to do that through those. So please go to Joe Vagnone Business Broker on YouTube and pull that up. We are here for the entire month with Solonia Wade-Baskins. I have given her nickname Solo. She is the co-owner of Progressive Business Finance. If you want to know who the other co-owner is, it is Sammy, the Beast.
There you go. Look, he gonna like that. He gonna say, "Why you didn't call me the Beast?" I'm like, "Let's not get it."
When it comes to financing, Sammy is the Beast. And certainly I suggest that you give them a call, and they can help you in so many different areas. And we're getting ready to talk about one of the areas you can help them. If they wanted to reach you or Sammy the Beast, how do they do it?
So our my email is info@progressivebusinessfinance.com. Again, that's info@progressivebusinessfinance.com. My cell phone number is 980-306-4467, and our website is progressivebusinessfinance.com.
Okay. So you're like this, can I say, holistic financial services provider. Is that a fair statement to make, or did I just make something up?
No, absolutely. We have a lot of add-on services. That's what makes us different, right? We're not just into lending. We're into helping business owners invest in themselves, right, and grow.
And so before we get into this article, I love your story of how you got here, right? So
Absolutely.
talk a little bit about it. Talk about Pops, because
Absolutely.
I relate to that story. So talk about it.
Absolutely. my dad, he was a business owner. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, and he had 4 laundromats, a club, about 5 apartments, and he owned a Subway franchise. And yet he was a business owner. And I say that because my image of him was super dad. He was a great provider, but a business owner, I just felt like all he did was work, work, work. He didn't get the benefits of being a business owner.
And it's so funny that you say that because as you're describing him, I'm saying, "Way to go, Pops!" like I'm like, "You the man, you the man," and you're sitting there looking at it as if it really wasn't this grand lifestyle for you.
It wasn't. He worked all the time, as I would say. When me and my mom went on vacation, he couldn't go, so we never took family vacations. And all he did was work, work, work. And I said, the sacrifice is not worth it. And then he fell ill at 55. He had an aneurysm and stroke. And so that was even worse. He still really didn't get to reap the benefits. So I'm like, why be a business owner?
Right.
Why? So that was ingrained in me. So when Sammy said, let's start a business, I was like, no, absolutely not. I was like, that's not happening. I'm never doing it.
He thought he was impressing his girl by saying, baby, we're going to start something. You're like, no, that ain't going to happen.
Never. He was like, but you have, I have an MBA and I have an MS of accountancy. So I have a dual master's. He was like, you have so much. I said, no, I'm going to find me a job and I'm going to work.
I'm going to find somebody to pay me for my so much.
And that's what I'm going to do. I said, no, not a business owner. So my dad, a great man, superhero, but I don't know.
That's
but
interesting.
you know.
But I think why we get along is because you do get it, though.
I do get it.
Get why people like me and Pops get up in the morning and want to do our own thing.
I get it. Well, strong.
Right.
Strong. You guys are strong. Y'all boisterous. Y'all powerful. And you don't want to be controlled. You want to be able to control.
When I get up in the morning,
that's it.
I'm going to do what I want to do.
And I get it.
And I ain't going to bed and lay my head down until I feel good about what I did that day.
I get it.
And me and Pops, we relate to that.
So much. So much. I see so much of him.
I know.
I see
as you're
it.
describing him, I
see it.
Two things are happening. I'm like loving him, right? I'm warming up to him.
And I'm looking at you like, oh my God. Is this my daddy? Hold up. No. Did he come back? Okay. No.
And you also remind me of my wife, right? Where, well, the same thing's happening, the last thing she wants to do is be part of the small.
Yes.
It's just in you or not.
It's just in you or not.
Okay.
And you can't help it. You have
That's
it.
right.
So you can't help it.
That's right. Okay, so that being said,
yes.
So that side of you, I actually like that. It's actually very positive, even though you don't want to do it. You understand? It's actually a very positive thing for small business people to connect with.
Absolutely.
So you said something to me last week. You said we need to talk about IULs, and I said what? So we're going to talk about that today. So what is IUL? It is the secrets for wealthy people. Yes. So I must not be wealthy enough because I don't know this secret.
Really? IULs is such, and a lot of people don't know about it, but the wealthy use it all the time. And they use it for their children when they're first born. They invest a little bit. They come out $1 million babies already by investing in themselves because it's compound interest. It's a life insurance, so it stands for Index Universal Life Insurance, but it has living benefits. So when people say that you can be your own bank, so just say you have a death benefit of $500,000 and a life and an IUL, you can borrow from that, and your collateral is your death insurance, right? And so now you can borrow from that $500,000. You can use that to start a business. You can use that to help your child buy a new house, the first down payment. So it's like investing in yourself.
And I can only imagine how cheap it would be if you did it at a very young age.
That's what I said. A lot of people, the wealthy, start very small. They start when their babies are first born. You can have it as young as 2 weeks old. You start $50 a month, $50 a week. By the time they're 20, they can pull out $30,000, $20,000 of their own and still have a life insurance and use this, and you don't have to pay it back. That's a genius. You can, but you don't have to.
So you've got some bullet points here that we're going to talk about.
Absolutely.
One of them is it's tax-free during retirement.
Tax-free. It's tax-free. That interest it is tax-free money.
And you've already said this, you can be your own bank. You can borrow against this.
You can borrow from it and use it. and you're borrowing from your death benefit, but you're using it now. And a lot of business owners, I always say, they don't plan for retirement. And what if something happened? What if you're the sole
Here come
provider,
your daddy again.
right? The sole provider,
right.
and like he got ill, he fell ill.
Right.
How do you pay for that stuff? Borrow. You have death benefits that if you get sick, if you get hurt, if you can't work, they write you a check. You don't have to think about financially how you're going to live.
You
It's
wish your
awesome.
daddy would have done that, didn't you?
If only if he knew. Right? Only if he knew.
I'm positive he's thinking that too.
Yes.
If you don't know, you don't know.
That's it.
That's what this show
That's
is for.
it. But you know what? His legacy has pushed me to do amazing things,
Amen.
right? And to think
Amen.
outside of the box.
I ain't saying nothing bad about Paul.
I know.
I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not saying nothing bad about Paul. Every time you give me that look, I'm going to say, no, leave him alone. Don't mess with Paul.
You know, I look.
Don't do it. Just stop it.
I
Don't
know.
do it, man. Get you a good life. I don't want to hear
I know.
it. All right. Okay. So if they wanted to reach you to learn more about this IUL, again, what's that stand for?
Index Universal Life Insurance.
Give them the website one more time.
www.progressivebusinessfinance.com.
And so when you say uninterrupted compound interest, explain it. You don't got to get into the details now. Sammy not here. We don't have to get into detail.
Okay.
But kind of explain that because it does work to your benefit in exactly the same way the mortgage works against you.
Yes.
So talk about that.
It's daily interest. And on top of that, if you put in $100 and tomorrow it's $110, you're getting interest on that 110, not on that 100. So it's daily interest and it's compounding on even the interest. You're getting interest on top of interest. And that's why they call it compounding interest. So, like a bank, you only get interest on that.
So when I'm receiving interest, I want compound.
You want compound
When I'm
interest.
paying on it, I want simple interest.
There you go. Yes.
You just taught me something.
There you go. Yes.
Solo, you just taught me something. Okay. Good. And then you talk about these annuities. What do you mean by that?
So I'm just going to give you an example. Annuities is a awesome tool that it has a zero floor, so you can't lose. So like in a 401 or 403B, your money fluctuates. In an annuity, it has a floor, so you would not lose your money. You will continue to earn interest, but the worst scenario, you just won't lose. You won't gain it, but you won't lose it. And so a lot of people like that. I especially like that.
My son really is not a risk taker and would love something like that.
Yeah, I like that. So when I left my job in New York and I had a 401, I switched it over to an annuity because in the stock market, I continued to see losing. And
that bothered you?
And it bothered me. See, I'm one of those people who watch my money. Where's it going? Why is it falling? What?
And you get mad, don't it, when it go down?
I like the stability. But you also gain interest, compound. So it's awesome.
Oh, I didn't know that about the annuity.
The annuity, yes.
Because I told you my son got about $30,000 trying to advise him, and he's kind of conservative. It rubs
now
me
about
a
the
little.
annuity, you can't pull it out like the IUL.
That's right.
So he may want an IUL more so, but annuity is also good.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Please talk to Solo about that. Seems like it might be some stuff that works for you as well. Let's take a break.
Absolutely.
We come back. We're going to introduce our guest.
Yes.
If you haven't scared him away.
Kinda.
Because this is a small business show. We do want people to do small business.
Exactly.
You understand? We want more pops in the world. You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We'll be right back. I couldn't let you do that.
I know. It was too soon.
Yeah. Joe Bagnone on the way from 105.9
All right.
100.7 WSIC. Local
Connor, are you ready or you want to leave? This is your moment. You good?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Kinda say he's ready.
So, if my son got an annuity, right, never touches 30 grand, right? Thank you. His only downside is he couldn't.
He can't touch it. Yeah, nobody. You can't touch it.
So
Not like
when does he pull it out? When does annuity work to your favor that you get the cash?
Now, the great thing about an annuity is that you can use it. Like for my annuity, I pulled over some money, right? And after the first year, you could take out 10% without penalty. So that 10% that I took out, I started an IUL with that same money. And they call it shifting, like using your same dollar to make more money. So after you put into the annuity, after a year in the annuity, you can pull out 10% without being penalized. So with that 10%, I started an IUL. And you could do that every year. So just
every year I can take another 10% out, and
you can keep pushing into that IUL. So a lot of people do that. They call it shifting. So that means that same dollar is working to fund you.
10% of total, not base. So as the interest compounds, still
10%
of whatever
total.
that you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the 10% get higher every year. So just say if you want to start, you can pull out 20,000, start an annuity. The next year you can say I want to put this 20,000 for the year. Start an IUL. Next year you can pull out another 21. And use it however you want, but it's yours, and it's without penalty. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So a lot of people do annuities. Yes.
I can get my boy in touch with you and Sammy.
Yeah. So, I got at it because Sammy.
Can we make sure Sammy in the room?
No, Sammy is the one with the life insurance.
I'm just picking on you, man.
But he's the one with the life insurance license.
Right.
Because you have to have a life insurance
I was just picking
license.
on you.
No.
I thought you were going to say, but I got a master, and I got this. And that's what I thought she was going to do.
He's the one. Listen, I told you I let him do all the hard work. I just talked. So you should have known that he was going to be in the room
before
anyway.
I said anything
I
anyway.
said, all right, babe, you need to come now. I done
All
set
right,
it up.
You tell Sammy we got to hook him up with my boy.
Yes, yeah. So it's awesome. But I'll tell you, let me have your card now. We can talk more after
definitely.
then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, learn stuff already. Should be good to keep going.
Oh yeah. Because business owners, they don't invest in themselves. They don't think about retirement. Not most, most of them don't. They're just trying to get the business off the ground. And yeah.
Okay. We come back. I got to do the little burners thing, and then you on.
Go.
Now you gonna sit there like a bump on the log? Wasn't again.
See that?
Why you interrupt me? Why you interrupt me when I'm getting ready to chop on?
Good time.
I'm getting ready to chop her.
Good time, right? Just
over 66,000 is needed.
Nobody like Wilton. He got no plans. Nobody likes him.
Level since October of 2022. I'm Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
Now more Local Biz Now with Joe Bagnone on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Yeah. You are listening to the #1 live business show in North Carolina. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now. And if it's Local Biz Now on Monday afternoon, say it.
Where your business matters.
Yeah. Hey, Wilton, fire it up.
Hey, this is Josh Johnson, and I've spent my fair share of time chasing alarms as a firefighter. But after a long day, I know how to find serenity in the form of a great cigar. Check out the best way I know how to relax. Join us this week at Burner Cigar and experience true relaxation.
And I want you guys to know Burner Cigar has a second location in Denver. They're in Birkdale. They're also in Denver. Stop by there. Either location, go by there. Tell them Joe sent you, and your next cigar is on me. If you go to the Burners in Birkdale, they'll ask you to hold up a sign like this, drop it on social media. We're trying to get more and more people to realize people like Solonia's husband enjoy cigars, and our next guest enjoy cigars, and we want people to know about it.
That's right.
And that's our way of doing that through social media. So please go by there, and your first cigar is on me. Burner Cigars, located in Brookdale Village, also brand new in Denver. Stop by and see them. If you can meet Josh, tell him that Joe sent you. Great to have you here. Again, it is just a exceptional place to sit down and relax, or a wonderful place to get a good value on a premium cigar. Burner Cigar. Thanks for their support. We really do appreciate it. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and we're ready to get on it. You ready?
I'm ready.
So, Solonia, you are here as co-owner of Progressive Business Finance. We thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Joe. I had a great time. It was fabulous. A wonderful month of June.
We'll get you back again.
Yes.
So I have with us Connor Moyer. Am I saying that right?
You got it.
That's rare that I would get that right. That's good. Connor's been sitting here quietly. He is the president of SMRT Solutions Group. Connor, my friend, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Excited to get going.
So what is SMRT Solutions Group all about?
We focus in sales, management, recruiting, and training, which SMRT, acronym for SMART, just drop the A. And our company takes
Where'd the A go?
I just wiped it off. we didn't need the A.
So smart, they don't need the A.
That's right. People know.
So I love asking this question. Now you don't got to go back to 1962, but kind of give me an idea of your background, right? Because I doubt you woke up on a Tuesday and said, "Hey, I want to get into marketing." So walk me through how we got here.
Far from it. Yeah. I wasn't born in '62, nor is I anywhere close, so I can defer those years to you. But I started off actually as a coach back in the day. I graduated college and then figured I was going to go on to get a job. I always said two things: I'm never going back to school, and I'm never going to teach. And sure enough, I was back in school and I was teaching. So never say never, because that one bit me pretty hard. And I was glad I did it because I was able to find my passion early on. And I started off as a volunteer coach, coached football, strength conditioning coach for a while. Did that for about 5 years, and then got wrapped up into teaching as well the 2 years towards the tail end of that. And moved on to corporate. Decided I wanted to just make some money. And where I was at in Memphis, money was not found in the education world, and so decided
it's not found unless you get to
Right.
higher education.
Yes. Yeah. And out of college, as a teacher, that wasn't quite the path for me. So I decided to move on into the corporate world. So I did that, climbed the corporate ladder. I worked for 4 or 5 different companies across all different functions. I've been in operations, manufacturing, warehousing. I've been in sales for a few different industries. And then this past year is really where this whole idea came into play. I went back to coaching again. I had a 7-year void of coaching. During the corporate world, obviously it's hard to find time.
It gets in your blood.
It does. It sinks its teeth in and doesn't let you go. And I felt that. And so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. So I reverted back to exactly what I normally do. I called a local high school. I'm down at Ardrey Kell, actually, as a volunteer assistant coach down there. And was lucky and fortunate that they brought me on board. So I'm helping out down there. And because of that, it gave me a little bit of perspective. So now that I've come back to coaching, with the business background I have now, it allowed me to pair the two. And what I started to realize is how many synergies there were between the athletic world and the business world. And they marry in so many different ways that it's perfect. And it took me a while to realize that because, of course, the first time going around, I was just out of college. I had no idea. Of course, you learn things in college, but unless you've done it, you don't know. And so it gave me a perspective that was different than what I had before.
And so I read a little bit of your website, and you talk about this, right? That you try and help clients apply some of the methodology, systems, and processes of team sports into their marketing solutions. Talk a little bit about that.
That's right. That's exactly right. So what we do is...
Exactly. That's a thing we do, Connor, whenever you say exactly.
Love that.
You do kind of...
He stepped in it. Yeah. He stepped in it.
So what we do is, if you look at every successful dynasty in sports, I don't care who you look at, hate him or love him, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, John Wooden back in the day, what Kirby Smart's doing at Georgia right now. If you look at every dynasty that is coming across in the sports world, they have a blueprint on what works. They found a playbook, if you will, on the way that they train their people, the way they develop their people, the way they go to business every day, or on the field, right? And not in the business sense, but they found a method that works. And there's a lot of different nuances that go into that, and it's tough. And what we do is we take the same principles that make those dynasties, and we take those into the business world and directly translate them. So we actually work with sales teams, we work with management teams, we do training, we do workshops, and we also do recruiting. So bringing in, I equate this to the NFL draft. You've got to take chances on younger players. And this is one topic that hits pretty close to home because in business, and just you and I talking earlier, a lot of people don't like taking chances on younger people. You don't, it's an entry-level job. Well,
Yeah.
we need 7 years of experience. Like, we're going to find that.
Right.
Yeah.
And by 7 years, who wants the entry-level
Good
job?
job.
Right.
So
You're
that's the
right.
tough part. So if you look at the way that the NFL and the NBA have done this, they use the NFL draft and the NBA draft, and you're quite literally taking a chance on somebody that has no professional experience, and you're putting them in that setting. They have a training ground, obviously, in collegiate sports, but you're taking a chance on them to help build your franchise, build your dynasty. It's the same concept. And there are rising stars that are going to be excellent in the business world that people shy away from. And so we help on the recruiting side too, help you bridge the gap between more specifically athletes, getting them into spots that we know that they're going to go in and excel in. So we focus on that as well in the recruiting side.
And is it mainly sales related positions that you help with?
Generally, yeah. And
I'll tell you something. I deal a lot with small business owners, and this is an area a lot of small business owners hate. Like they don't want to deal. Well, they don't want to deal with the salesperson, right? We're kind of touchy.
Yes.
If you can't tell, we're a little peculiar. And it's difficult to work with certain good quality salespeople. So I can see how this being able to outsource this would be very helpful to some small business people.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people that you said this this feedback I get all the time. A lot of business owners don't want to do the sales part.
That's right.
There's a difference in the transition between a founder-led sales team, which is typically a small business. You're the founder and the owner of the company. You're driving all the influx of business, and there becomes a time where you need a sales force. You need salespeople. You need other people in your organizations. That's the transition that's really hard for people to deal with, because now you've got to shift your mindset. Now you've got to work as a team. You've got to use your whatever people you have on your bench. You've got to bring those off the bench, and you've got to let them go. And that's what we help bridge the gap with.
And you train them.
We do. We train them.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, we're hands on.
Yeah.
We're hands on. We do
That's awesome.
everything. If you look at a practice, and I'll just use our football team as an example. Almost every day we run through a team activity where it's offense versus defense. We're running plays that we would run in games normally. It's the same thing in sales. We're going to sit down with you. We're going to go and either be on the call with you, or we're going to listen, and we're going to give you feedback afterwards. Hey, here's what you said this time, and exactly like we do on the field. There's no difference. We watch a player run a route. We go back. We coach him on what he could have done better, or we give him positive feedback if it was great. It's the exact same thing in the sales world. We take the same approach.
Because, Joe, what don't you have as a business owner, entrepreneur? A lot of time.
That's right.
So they take it, for that business owner not to have to train that sales team and they be efficient and on point. That's priceless.
It is. And I'll tell you this, the hard part for people to decouple is letting go of the fact that you got to realize before you go down this road that your time as an owner is most likely spent better in different areas than spending one-on-one time with somebody every day.
And what you're describing is you're not only training, but you're training them in an area specific, in a system specifically designed for their business, right?
Yes.
So you've got the skill set to figure that system and process out. Then you will help them find and train the salespeople moving forward and perfect it and make sure it's actually working. That does have a great deal of value.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, we've helped a lot of customers so far with that.
Okay, we're going to go take a break. When we come back, I'm going to call bull on that, and I'm going to challenge you.
I love it.
Let's see if you can pass the test. You already know I'm going to fail that test. Right? You know that. He's got us already. You already know that.
Right?
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and I am here with Connor Moyer.
That's right.
I can't believe I'm getting that right.
2 for 2.
SMRT Solutions Group. Smart without the A.
There you go.
We'll be right back.
Where your business matters.
Yeah.
Keep it right here. Local Biz Now with Joe Bagnone will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7.
So when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about how to help small business perfect what they're looking for. You need me for something? Well, not. I was trying to ignore you. Okay.
What's it going to get?
feels like temperatures once again a little closer to 100. So if you're
At
outside,
the
trying to
other
get in the water,
studio,
take
the
a
board
break,
operator
go
literally
inside,
sat right
cool
next
off
to
for
me.
a while,
It was
come
an
back
old
outside.
75-year-old,
Just all in an effort
and I
to
would
keep
pick
safe.
on him all the
Look at the hair,
time.
make it a little bit
And my
shiny.
nephew, who graduated from Western Carolina as a communications guy, had to run the board for his during his what is that? What the kids have to go through?
Like an internship?
Yeah. And he hated it. Just hated it. He begged the owner, "Do I really have to do Joe's show?"
That's awesome.
Wilton is the only board operator in 11 years that could care less if I pick on him or not.
Wilson don't pay you any attention.
He just paid me no never mind. That's the problem.
Listen, that's it. He pays you not.
He paid me no never mind.
He's got the right mentality for it. That's awesome.
Wilson has a baby on the way, which is so exciting.
Downtown Statesville welcomes live music this weekend. On Friday, Wine Maestro.
All right, we got Joe Buck in the house. Buck or Burke? Joe. How you say your last name? Berg.
With a G. Berg.
Like
Burger. Berg.
Hamburg.
Okay. Nobody likes Joe either. He ain't got no friends either.
Oh, that is so funny.
I don't need friends.
He has the sports.
Yeah, Joe's a sports guy.
Yes, he told me his show come on after
Joe,
this, right? Yeah.
Joe would be
Right
good
after.
if he just cut his hair.
Do you need it? Is that why?
That's his signature. His
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely. I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
You ought to see him when he take that bun out. It go flying.
Does it?
Yeah, I got curly.
I mean, it flies.
So do you wear it
Oh,
out
yeah.
sometimes?
What?
Do you wear it out during the show sometimes?
I used to.
Are you gonna cut it? All of it?
Look at all that. Look at all that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
look at all that.
wow.
flowing
It's
mane.
Local Biz Now with Joe
Some
Bagnone
women would be
on
jealous over
105.9,
you.
100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the #1 live business show in North Carolina, home of Burner Cigar Studio. You are listening to Solonia, co-owner of Progressive Business Finance, and also Connor Moyer. He is the president of Smart Solutions Group. That is smart without the A. Connor, thank you for being here, buddy. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So I was picking on you, but before the break. But let's talk about this because it's not easy to design something. I mean, you can compare yourself if you want to, right, to some of the finest coaches in the world, but they've had years, in some cases, generations, to perfect what they do, right? If I call you, you got to start from scratch in some cases, right? So how do you do that? How do you, in a reasonable period of time, put together processes and systems that we know will be helpful to a sales, to a growing or in some cases creating a new sales force? Did I ask the question correctly? You get where I'm headed here?
Absolutely. Here's what we do that's a little bit different. First and foremost, we don't reinvent the wheel. As I'm talking about these other dynasties, we take some of the same concepts that create that winning organization and we move those straight over. Obviously, we have some stuff internal that's ours and that we use based on our experiences. In my board, I've got a board of advisors that has over 150 years of experience in sales and management, leadership. They've been CSOs, CXOs, VPs, executive VPs. So we've got a lot of people with certainly more knowledge even than I do in this matter. But the big thing is when we're looking at businesses that, as you talk about starting from scratch, we narrow it down in a couple different buckets. So we start off with the conceptual bucket, which is the high level vision. Where are we going? What do we want to do? What is the voice of our company? What are we trying to get after? We move to the strategical bucket. The strategic bucket is more the initiatives on strategically, how are we going to make those concepts happen? What do we need to do? And then we go to tactical. So we have this system, and the tactical is everything from every little detail that needs to happen in order to execute on those strategic initiatives. So if you think about this, again, I'll relate it back to sports sense, given that's the whole, really the message of our company. as a sports team, you've got to define your team's identity. If you're a football team, are you going to be a hard-nosed, run it down the middle type of team? Are you going to be a West Coast offense where you're throwing the ball over the place? What is your team identity? Strategically, what plays do we need to do in order to make that happen? How are we going to actually go about making that happen? And then tactically, what personnel do we need on the field? How are we going to run the routes? What's the playbook going to look like? That's just a quick example on how we take the same things that a winning coach in a dynasty is going to do and apply it in the business world. So yeah, you're right. On occasion, there are some clients that come to us with some industries that are slightly outside of what we do. We really focus on a few industries, and we can help about anybody.
And you know what I love about that is that a lot of business owners don't know who they are. They're a business themselves.
Right.
So in order to come to you, they have to know. And so that helps them, like you said, come into themselves as business owners. Because in order for you to be successful, a lot of business owners think that they have to do a lot. But you just need one real big specialty that you do, that you can offer, and people love you for that. You don't have to do everything.
That's right.
But a lot of business owners don't know who they are in the business. They just want to do what they want to do, but who are you? What makes you different? Why would I want you? And so to come to you and work for you, to work with you, they have to know that. And it helps them learn about themselves.
So really what you're saying is just a meeting with him alone kind of gets them in the right mindset and in the right direction that they may not be at.
Because they can't work with him if they don't know what they need from him.
Right.
So you have to know who you are. How can we work with you? What strategic plan or tactics do we need to put into place to make your vision come to life?
So Connor, I hear you describing sort of a fractional sales manager type of concept. Am I hitting that right? Because you haven't actually used those words, so I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm trying to get a real understanding of what you find yourself being good at.
So here's what we do. We operate a few different ways. On the training front, and as well as the management front, we do have a fractional aspect, which makes us a little bit unique. A lot of companies today, and a lot of, I would say, medium to large businesses, maybe not so much small, but medium to large businesses, they have an entire team or at least a person or two dedicated to the learning and development, the training that goes into programs. The problem is there are a lot of those companies that are seeing, so look at the recent rounds of layoffs. They were almost always in the first round of cuts. Your sales trainers, all that,
Right.
because they're not a direct revenue add. So people immediately think, oh, we got to get rid of them. Well, now you're left with a complete hole in your sales team because they're not receiving the feedback and coaching that they need to succeed. So what happens? Your revenue numbers drop.
Because not everybody's a Joe.
That's right.
Joe is unique.
One
Not
moment.
everybody's a Joe.
Not every salesman you have is a Joe. You
That's
understand?
right.
You like that, didn't you? So, walk me through what a good client profile would look like. Like if there's a business person out there listening, they're not sure whether they're a good fit for you or not. Kind of walk me through what a buyer profile would look like for you.
So let me start, before I outline exactly what the buyer profile looks like, let me start with the way we talk to these people and the way we engage with them initially, because I think that sets some context. When we start out, we actually start with an assessment. We usually go and we do a go-to-market assessment, which is pretty much your entire commercial side of your business. And that starts with things we were talking about earlier, like your vision, your idea, who you are as a company, and we move all the way through. And we start with that kind of stuff, and we come out with a scorecard. And it's not going to be like 20% F, like it's red, yellow, green. We're just letting
Right.
you know, hey, there's some gaps here, you're okay here, and you're great here. We come out with that assessment because it allows us to give upfront whether or not it's a good fit for both our business and for theirs. It needs to go both ways. And so that's an important step that we take, that we make sure that we're not here to work with everyone under the sun. We're here to work with the people that are going to value or benefit from what we provide.
And it sounds like you're really kind of practicing what you preach, because that's what you're going to teach us small business people.
That's right.
Dude, you can't do it all. You got to
Can't do
figure
it
it
all.
out.
That's exactly right.
Because even Joe, right? I stay focused on small businesses, 5 million or less.
You can't do it all?
I can't do it all.
I thought you
can't do
did it all.
No, I mean, there's very few Sammys in the world. Joe is not a Sammy. Okay, so I got that. I see where that goes. So is there a size or a type of industry or a client profile that if they're listening, you're saying, hey, I think in general I probably can help you because we've done a lot of that.
Yeah, the main profiles we work with, We've actually worked with everyone from startup founders all the way up to large corporations. Now, that's a big bucket, obviously, but with the offerings we have, it really depends on the right fit. Some people just want sales training. Some people want a complete go-to-market strategy analysis, and that's obviously a lot more in depth. That's a little bit more founder focused, a little bit more small business focused. We work with a lot of people that are in supply chain, manufacturing, anything with tech, SaaS, and sports. When I say sports, that can be, we've had a few meetings with some NFL teams recently, some NHL teams, and are engaging with those crowds on ticket sales and some other things that we're doing, as well as sports tech. So if you think of all like the wearables and all those kind of companies that have roots in sports, because it obviously the message translates directly to that audience. And a lot of times the people you get are already in that field to some extent. So that's really the main people we work with.
Do you also get into all of the different aspects of marketing? You know, it is the world is changing faster than I can talk through a show, you know, with digital marketing and that sort of stuff. Do you engage in all of those areas at the same time? Because, you know, a sales force is almost becoming old school conversation, right? You know, Can you talk a little bit about the combination of both of those?
Yeah, and it depends. The old school sales approach is, I would say, old school for lower ticket items. For something that's a subscription model, for something you can go online and click and just say, hey, I want to buy this software or stuff like that. For a lot of the bigger stuff, it's not. For a lot of bigger stuff, it's still relationships.
Good, because I was afraid Joe was getting obsolete.
Not quite, Joe.
So you're saying
you got a few more years.
So a higher end ticket still requires the relationship and the knock on the door sales technique.
It does, because they've got to trust you. They've got to believe in you as a person, and oftentimes it's not necessarily just the product. So in some of the supply chain jobs I work with, selling multi-million-dollar warehouse and freight deals, some hundreds of millions, and working with those type of buyers. Sometimes the deal is lost because of the salesperson, not because of the product. The product can be very similar. At the end of the day, warehouse to warehouse, rates are going to be similar depending on the company. At the end of the day, it's the person that they trust, the person that they've done business with, and they feel like is a good person to work with, that company can represent and support. Yeah. There's a big difference. So to a point, yes, the online marketing stuff is becoming a huge deal for that sort of product. For a smaller, I would still say bigger ticket items is a very hands-on sales approach. But we do help with all that too.
So we've only got about a minute and a half or so. If somebody wanted to reach you, how could they reach you?
Yeah, so a couple different ways. The first one's a website, SMRT, smartsolutionsgroup.com. You can also reach me by email, and it's Conner, CONNER, at smartsolutionsgroup.com. And you can also reach me by cell phone, 901-387-9253.
And again, SMART is with no A.
That's correct.
We're still looking for the A.
Yep.
I go to your website, and I notice you have workshops and seminars. Can you talk a little bit about that? And do you have any coming up?
Yeah, the workshops and seminars are great. It's a big hit. It's a really great way for a client to more or less try us if they want to. So instead of the fractional approach where we're with you for 30 days or however long that is, a workshop can be anywhere from 1 to 3 days. It can be a quick refresher for a sales team. It can be reinforcing concepts. And again, based on the things that we implement that a lot of other companies and trainers have not done, it exposes them to new creative ways to think and solicit sales and come back with revenue.
You are listening to Conner Moyer. He's the president of Smart Solutions Group without the A, SMRT Solutions Group. Conner, thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, and I have been here with Conner Moyer, president of Smart Solutions Group. Check him out. Also, Solonia Wade-Baskins and Sammy can help you with progressive business finance. If it's Monday afternoon, say it, say it, say it.
Where your business matters.
Yeah.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC.